Greetings and salutations, folks. My name's Nick, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where last time we actually progressed with the plot. Although, there's a little bit of an interrupt. Apparently a spaceship fell from the sky, which is probably going to, which already has kind of presented us a choice. We're probably going to find... Why, hello.
Never seen anything like that crash. It looked so close.
A specific targeting computer on the crash site, which we will have to give to either Graham or Sanjar. I would be leaning towards giving it to Sanjar, but I feel as though giving it to Graham might leave potential for me to screw Graham over and hopefully get the more compassionate, the woman who seems to actually care about the iconoclasts rather than the message in charge. But we are not at that stage yet. We still actually have to get to the spaceship crash, which is deep in the sulfur pits, of course, which we've already actually passed through before, and we already kind of dealt with the creatures in the sulfur pits well enough. Oh, hello. Nope. Go. There we go. Oh, hello. They seem to have resuscitated themselves. These, manta swarms and manta pillars. There we go. Oh, you're still alive? Never mind, you are not. I'm sure the other mantisaurs that will come to this area will be kind enough to clean this up. Feast upon their fallen brethren. An attempt to repopulate their species from my arrival on their planet. Ah. Raptidons. Not entirely, I'm not really entirely worried about the wildlife here anymore. Even if they're mega raptidons. I don't really even need to worry about using oh, hello. What are you? Companion abilities in order to take down the Mega Raptidon anymore. Though I do need to eventually repair my armor and gun, as they have both kind of been highlighted as mostly broken. Ah, hello. Ah. Ah. I'll probably still use a... Because why not? Makes the job at least faster. Alright. Anybody alive in here? Are you alive?
I'll keep an eye on things out here. Me too. You know corpses shit themselves, right? Enjoy the smell.
Thanks. Captain Matsu. What exactly caused, the crash? Run diagnostics. Operational parameters have exceeded acceptable damage ranges. The cost of any repairs necessary at your nearest UDL repair facility will be averaged amongst the crew. CE's saying something about spare regulator bypass, something something. Chick Usho. I'm turning this thing toward the ground breaker, firing up the engines and retiring. Better to be arrested than lose power and drift off into space. I just hope this old bird can handle one last trip. How in this law-forsaken colony is it so impossible to requisition parts? My chief engineer is barking at me to order yet another damn thing, and I can't even get a response from corporate. Another day, another ship lands on Terra 1, and we can't shoot him down. That makes... I've lost count. What's the point of being out here if we can't get some backup?
Hello, my name's Jen. I'm the chief engineer on this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a total fucking hullhead. I told him, again and again, that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are. Thinking we'll hit soil in about 30 seconds. This is your chief engineer signing off for what is probably the last time. It's a shame you can't see this middle finger I'm holding up, because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
That is the most calm Mayday message that I've ever heard. I don't think I have heard a Mayday message in any video game, movie, or TV show that is quite as calm as that one. Though I suppose, like, it has this kind of ring to it where it's like, of course this happened. Everybody expected this to happen, and it's happening. Like, yes, I'll be dead, but isn't it so obvious? Yeah, everything is on an angle. All right. And now to choose who to give it to. Again, my gut feeling is Sanjar, because he's more respectable, relatively, to Graham. Actually, let's see if we could carry out
Captain,
Yeah.
we should chat. Graham's got the right idea, but he isn't the right guy to execute it. I don't even think he's motivated by philosophism anymore. I think he's just guilt-ridden. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I keep going over and over it in my head, and the only way I see the Iconoclast surviving is we depose him.
I'm with you on there. Let's go talk to him.
Okay. Deep breaths. This is what's best, Sora. Time to save Monarch.
I mean, really, Graham is terrible, not just as a current leader, but also as somebody who has betrayed his own people in order to attain his power.
Captain, you must be back with the access codes to our new ship.
Graham, we need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats.
I'm sorry, Graham, but Zora's taking over.
What? Zora?
You're running the Iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar Bay. The troops take orders from me already, and you've brought me as far as you can down the eternal path. It's time to step down.
Well, also there's the evidence,
The
Zora.
troops? Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers. Followers.
They
pick
also
up a
have
gun
guns?
because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me, for us, you throw behind this mutinous blasphemer?
Let's see, I just think she'll be a better leader, which is true. I do. She's got the best interest of the Iconoclasts at heart, which she does.
I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch, and all these years later, we're still free.
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the Iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than to bring freedom to Halcyon. That you were selfless. But I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start this movement because you wanted to save us. You wanted to save yourself.
No.
No, it can't be. Those deaths are on your hands, Graham. No amount of meditating will clean them.
I've spent years atoning for my sins. I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the Iconoclasts so that any man could cast away his past for a fresh start.
That's awfully
Graham,
convenient.
Graham, you needed a fresh start? After all those innocent lives? I'm sorry. I believed in you once. I did. But it's over.
Like, to
Stand
build
down.
an entire ideology
I won't.
just so
What
it
happened
can
back then was
erase
a
your
mistake,
past
and the colony has moved on.
is clear
This is my movement. These are my
act of
people. If you
a
want to leave
person
them,
without
you'll
remorse.
have to kill me.
That isn't necessary.
Please. Don't make me do this, Graham.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it. But as long as I draw breath, I will not abandon them.
So be it.
They're on us.
Oh well. I tried to talk them out of it.
Ready for more.
Now, if you don't mind me, I'm just going to loot this man's body. My Iconoclast reputation decreased, then it immediately increased. That's jump, not loot.
Well, Captain, here we are. Killed a lot of people in the name of the Iconoclasts, and it never feels right. But this time, it's especially wrong. You've got the... Void held me. I'll never remember what that thing is called. The device from the ship. Do you have it?
Hold on, I was thinking you and Sanjar could join forces.
I've thought about it, but I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta's support was crossing a line.
How many believers are going to die for this? Sandra has corporate resources. How many of your believers are going to die for this?
You've got me there. A fair few. I've lost a hell of a lot to this fight. Graham would never agree to this, but I'm starting to realize how often he led us astray. All right. If he's willing to talk, I'll give him a chance.
I know it's a long shot, but I'll try. Alright. We have unlocked this other path. Alright, Sanjar, let's see if our persuade skill is high enough.
If the Iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any chance for a peaceful monarch. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrols, but they're running into trouble with the Iconoclasts.
Could you agree to a truce? According to the ship's logs, they suffered some kind of malfunction.
That's surprising. The board's equipment is usually in top shape. After all, they have first access to any fresh parts or components.
Perhaps there's something deeper going on.
A conspiracy? You've spent too much time around Graham.
Could you agree to a truce with the Iconoclasts?
They're all mad. And what's more, they left us. I don't see any way for us to work together.
I've read your reviews, Sanjar. You can't do this alone. Oof, I feel like that's a low blow, but...
Not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a mantipillar, and my will is my cocoon. I can emerge and become whatever I wish.
Let's see. You're good with details, but you could use someone who sees the big picture. The people who wrote your reviews are the same type of people you'll deal with on the board. Pull your head out of your ass, Sanjar. Don't screw this opportunity over your wounded pride. You're good with details, but you could use someone who sees the big picture.
You too?
She has a point, sir, and it's not all bad.
Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts.
Zora leads the iconoclasts now. What about her?
That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo. I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first.
Actually, I already found it on a terminal in Cascadia.
Very well. I can't promise anything, but let's see what we have here.
That makes my search of Cascadia a long time ago was
Actually,
very useful.
qualified. All right. I'll have Celia organize a meeting in neutral territory, the old OSI church in the ruins. Meet us there, and we'll discuss terms.
Very well. All right. Let us oversee this negotiation. Hope everything goes okay. But as always, hope for the best, expect the worst. Although I suppose in this game, you could literally do hope for the best, simply because you've always got your dialogue options to back you up. And I do have a whole bunch of points in a few different dialogue options, so maybe things will turn out all right. And oh yeah, now that I think about it, I've already looted the church before. I just passed it by, and I was like, how is there a church here? Although I suppose that I look at the church as... I think I was looking at the church from a perspective of the real world, as opposed to, like, this is probably a church of philosophism, or some, like... Oh, hello.
Hey, thanks for coming.
I did not know there were combating pulpits.
Analysis on the costs and benefits of your proposed union, but I suppose we'll have to improvise.
That's the spirit.
Gotta admit, I really thought I was walking into a trap here. I'm ready.
I get the feeling this is gonna take a while.
15 hours later.
Stellar Bay's got food and walls. And my people need both. If you'll have us, we're willing to share the space.
Do you have any idea what that would cost? Why, drawing up the budget alone is going to take weeks.
What if the iconoclast just supported your supply lines?
Not good enough. I need to move a fair amount of my people into the city. We need shelter, Captain.
I'm not saying live outside, just help out in the wilderness once in a while.
Suppose some of our healthier folk could offer aid. Some of us need to stay in the city proper, though.
Captain, this might really work.
Truly, a compromise? I'm not sure I'd ever have heard as much from Graham.
Very much
Graham
so.
was a murderous fiend, and I'd be shocked if you didn't already know that.
Something tells me Sanjar didn't know.
This feels like one of those times when everyone at headquarters but me is laughing at something, but you two aren't laughing.
No.
Amber Heights, you haulhead. 10 years ago, Graham had all those people killed.
What? That's not possible. Even for him, that's going too far.
It is. We found correspondences between him and the pirates.
But that means... I had no idea, I swear. Look, we were both fed up with corporate leadership, but I never guessed he'd do something like that.
I think he's being truthful, Captain. I feel it in my gut. Kind of nauseous, but ticklish.
You can't take bureaucrats at their word. You back someone into a corner like this, and they'll say anything to get out of it.
Take it back a notch. You're here for your people, not the past. Sanjar, your leader. That means taking responsibility. But then, if you're responsible, Sanjar, you're a leader. That means taking
Very
responsibility.
well. I suppose my ignorance is no excuse. I knew Graham for years. I should have done my due diligence and known exactly who I was working with. Surely you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if you're willing to house and supply some of us, I'll have our more capable soldiers help out.
This is interesting, simply because, like, you look at the Outer Worlds, and I suppose there's the description that it's kind of like a Fallout-esque storyline set in space, but at the same time, I can't really think of too many instances in, or any instances in like Elder Scrolls game where you're constantly having this kind of argument, banter between so many characters. So, glad to hear it. I'm hopeful about this alliance.
As am I. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure lowering already.
Thanks for coming out, Sanjar. I, guess I'll see you at Stellar Bay.
Yay!
You've done a good thing, Captain. A real good thing.
Also, Ellie had
Lots of folks are
absolutely
gonna be
nothing to
better
say.
off because of this.
Oh, never mind. She has something to say. Well, let's level up. What are we going to toss our skill points into? Let's say 2 points for long gun, 5 for persuade, and the rest in lockpick. Perks, I don't know, I'm not really too, like, never mind. No, that's a combat effect. Increase the armor rating and skill bonuses from any armor you wear. That could be that one. Science weapon damage, headshot kills, revive companions when you use the inhaler. Oh yeah, sure, why not? Alright, let's talk to Ellie.
Things on Monarch have really cooled off. I didn't think MSI and the Iconoclast would ever talk. Outside of shouting 4-letter words, I mean.
They're always shouting 4-letter words like comb and raid. Just goes to show there's always a peaceful option.
Sure, and fish sticks are really made from Saltuna. Look, I won't knock the work you did. I'm sure they'll have a good cry, look through old photographs, share a pint of premium double chocolate cacao gelato. But sooner or later, things will go back to the way they were. People don't change. Not really.
But if you don't even give it a chance, that's a very specific image.
Well, who hasn't been there? Anyway, I'd hate to see you get broken up if this thing between them doesn't last.
It's nice to know you care.
Hey, let's not make this out to be more than it is. Anything else?
I take it you've got something to say about Harlow.
What did I tell you? His down with the man shtick was just an act. No one who yammers that much means half of it.
It's hard to know who to trust.
Take a page out of my rule book. Don't trust anyone. Then it's easy.
Including yourself. Just because Harlow turned out to be crooked doesn't mean everyone's like that.
Don't get all mushy on me now. Come on, what did we just learn? People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature, same as gravity and conservation of motion.
Except we've created artificial gravity.
This is why I hate metaphors. Look, I see a lot of people, inside and out. When you get down to it, we're all made of the same stuff. Once you accept that, nothing much surprises you.
Ever consider that looking out for others can be in your best interest?
I'm warning you, that reverse psychology stuff doesn't work on me.
Even you never really go it alone. You usually throw your lot in with a crew.
Sure do. And unlike you, Captain, the rest of us don't get a big fancy room with wall-to-wall windows. But let's forget about that, please. Anyway, you really want to tell me you're helping the scientist because you think he'll save the colony?
As a matter of fact, I am. Also, I feel as though I should have had this conversation with her a lot earlier. Oh, Phineas.
And here I thought I'd seen it all. This galaxy must be bigger than I'd thought. Enough about Harlow, though. Anything else?
Never mind, let's go.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
Always these crew members and their disturbances. Oh.
Shh, the captain's coming. Put your gun away. Act casual.
Oh, yes. This'll about do. That's a mighty clean weapon. Yep. Ain't no call for a closer inspection by anybody.
This is awfully suspicious.
Hey, Cap.
Alright. Keep your secrets. And let's head to talk to Phineas again. Alright, Phineas. What is the next step of our main quest, of which we have avoided for so long on Monarch?
I'd clap you on the shoulder if I went behind a wall of bulletproof glass. I don't know how you did it, but Hiram Blythe just sent me everything I needed. According to Hiram's message, Minister Clark has ordered a suspicious amount of dimethyl sulfoxide. It's almost as if he's hoarding the colony's remaining supply. Typical elitist, hoarding supplies during a time of scarcity. Once I have those chemicals, we can revive the Hope's colonists and put some decent people in charge. So, good news. You're going to Byzantium and stealing those chemicals. Exciting.
Good news! You're going to Byzantium. What's so important about these chemicals?
If I had time and several blackboards, I could explain the details to you, but to put it briefly, dimethyl sulfoxide is the reason you're alive today.
Also, the question is this person hoarding it because it's scarce, or are they essentially, getting in the way of Phineas? Do they actually know what the problem is?
If you don't bring me enough chemicals, I might not be able to save the Hope's colonists, and then nothing will stop the board from destroying this colony.
Huh. What was that about Minister Clark?
Aloysius Clark, Minister of Earth. Virtually every colony requires the presence of a Minister of Earth.
Oh, hold on.
Clark is complicit in every one of the board's crimes. Whenever the board issues some new decree, you'll find Clark's signature on the dotted line.
Every colony needs a Minister of Earth. That presents the idea that Halcyon is not the only colony. Obviously, it shouldn't be that unexpected or that big of a surprise, but I hadn't considered the idea that there are multiple colonies that Earth is sending its people to. You make it sound so simple.
Oh, I understand it must seem impossible to you. Infiltrate Byzantium, the crown jewel of the colony, steal a batch of rare chemicals from a heavily guarded estate. In order to do the impossible, you must first divide it into a series of smaller, less impossible tasks.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Ah, yes, the details. I'm not about to ask you to rampage through Byzantium trading bullets with the board's agents. We'll have to resort to subterfuge.
Ooh.
Carmen Imagawa. She's my contact in Byzantium. Meet her at the docks. She'll have all the necessary intelligence you require. I'm giving you my old nav key to Byzantium. You'll need it to land in the Golden City. Remember, you're looking for dimethyl sulfoxide. Big green bubbling vessel with a warning label. I'll take as much as you can find.
Let's see. Warning label?
about being discontinued due to severe adverse reactions, it's fine. You'll be stealing the chemicals, not ingesting them.
Anything I should know about this Carmen Imagawa?
You can trust her if that's what you're asking. Imagawa is the finest special agent in Byzantium that money can buy. My money, anyway.
Alright, and find Carmen Imagawa, steal chemicals, got it.
I've done plenty of smuggling runs, but this thing with the chemicals is bold.
Well, you gotta be bold if you want to change the galaxy. Alright, I guess we finally unlocked Byzantium, which means we could actually now complete out Parvati's quest, solve the problem with the aliens, and figure out what's going on next for the plot.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
Okay, okay. I suppose I'll stop by and see what Parvati is doing with the cleaning machine.
Don't move, you got a little bit of sick in your tread. There, spick and span. Next time you find Yoka fixing to barf, you come get me. I'll make sure she hits the ground. Oh, Captain! Just doing some routine maintenance on our automech, friend. Don't mind me.
Alright. I have stopped minding. And let us head to Byzantium.
I understand we have decided to continue supporting the outlaw scientist, Dr. Phineas Wells.
That is correct.
Captain, how can I be of assistance?
I'm in the mood for some entertainment.
Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear?
Tell me a joke.
A neutron walks into a bar and asks, "How much for a Rizzo's rum and something?" Leering, the bartender replies, "For you, no charge."
Excellent.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders.
Alright, talk to you later. Oh, is it on because, where else would it be? Byzantium Freight Port Landing Pad. For some reason, I thought Byzantium would be its own, specific planet.
I've done plenty of smuggling runs, but this thing with the chemicals is bold.
I'm aware of this. You already told me. Alright. Before we get ourselves deeper in line with the plot, though, let us get into this town. That is jump. Which is a little bit less straightforward than I was expecting. Retirees? Huh. Why is there a passage specifically for retirees? Maybe we can't get into this town that easily. Maybe we have to actually go with the plot. Okay, let's go with the plot, I guess. I was hoping to be able to take care of Parvati's questline, but it appears that Byzantium is not quite that simple. Or is it? And I just went in the wrong direction. Yes, I did.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
I don't think you really want exciting. A lot of the areas, planets I've been to have been exciting.
Everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever want a little fun? Maybe see a marauder ship get blown to bits overhead?
What a thing to say. Everyone knows marauders can't fly.
Isn't that obvious? Let's see. Does my hat give me dialogue skills? It does.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! With the million-bit smile? How'd you like to make it worth 10 million?
Sure.
Kid, you got presence. Natural magnetism. Know what I mean?
I like where this is going.
Tell you what, you're gonna like it a whole lot more once we start talking bits. Listen, you got an agent? Some kind of representation?
I consider myself freelance.
Fresh, natural talent. I know it when I see it. Listen, you got a real special quality, raw energy. I see you in pictures, kid.
Just tell me what you're offering.
I'm making a feature, Space Pirates of Moros Prime. It's gonna be a hit. But we still need a star. And I think you got the chops.
Not so fast. First, we gotta talk about royalties.
Clearly, I brought the right
Let's just see where this
partner
audition
with.
goes, huh? So what do you say? You ready for the chance of a lifetime?
Sure. I wasn't actually planning to star in a movie, but I'm in.
Terrific. We're holding auditions at the studio. Head to Odeon Pictures and take the elevator. You're going all the way to the top, baby.
Okay. Let's worry about that a little bit later. Right now, we need to get Parvati some clothes.
A model of the system? It's not super accurate.
I once treated a lady who got her hand caught in the gears. Idiot was more worried about her rings than her fingers.
BNP, I can't believe it's not you.
It's fun, though. It's not accurate, but it's fun. Now, how do I get up to this clothing store? Which is probably super expensive.
I've always loved that sculpture.
It's an orrery, and you say that every time.
It's strange, though. I thought Byzantium was the center of Halcyon.
That's a figure of speech.
I know that.
Have you heard of metaphors? I've discovered metaphors just the other day. They're quite amazing.
You, with the hips. Over here. Let me take a closer look at you.
Don't speak. Hold that posture for a moment while I admire you. You have a natural contrapposto, my dear. The way you
Thanks?
rest your weight against your hip suggests a certain rugged charisma possessed only by the mighty primal and the well-traveled spacer. Splendid. I love it.
That's me. Rugged and well... Actually, that is pretty accurate.
Ah, Celeste, you've done it again. I knew from the moment I laid eyes on you that I'd found my muse. I'm Celeste Jolicoeur, and you, my dear, are exactly what Byzantium needs.
See, I'm not necessarily on board with her Padme Amidala, or her Queen Amidala makeup, but the suit is excellent. Top tier. It's like you read my mind.
Darling, you and that brutish swagger of yours have been on my mind the moment you stepped into my studio.
So I've been on your mind for like
clothing that will shock this city to
30
its core,
seconds.
and I'd like your help. What do you say, my dear? Care to make history with me?
Well, I suppose I'm already starring in a movie, so... You've got a pretty high opinion of someone you just met.
Everything I need to know can be deduced from a first impression.
Oh.
You're an outsider. You're exotic. You carry a whiff of barbarism and adventure. You're the embodiment of everything I want in my new line.
And to be fair, she probably won't be able to find that on Byzantium. What do you have in mind?
When I look at you, I see the very embodiment of everything the walls of Byzantium were built to keep out. Making an outfit worthy of you won't be easy. I'll need your help gathering the right materials.
Alright, I'll help you out, I suppose.
Marvelous! You and I are gonna wake this city up like a cold splash of wine to the face. What I need is a survey of the outside world. What does the common laborer wear? How do the wild-eyed madmen of Monarch dress themselves? I've heard rumors, but I require samples. Also, I expect you to model for me.
How can I tell what the poor people wear from upon my lofty perch? Any excuse to admire my looks, can't blame you.
Oh, you cad! You'll be the talk of Byzantium once I'm done with you.
I'm impressed that she's able to garner this from somebody who showed up with a full suit of armor and a top
The
hat.
armor of a marauder, and a full ensemble of spacer gear, helmet included.
Huh.
And when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by real spacers. None of that garbage spacer's choice pedals. You have the bearing and demeanor of a born model. You're going to absolutely murder this job.
I'll see what I can do.
Fabulous! I can't wait to see what you dredge up.
Where am I supposed to find spacer gear?
If I were an enterprising spacer in need of a wardrobe, I'd probably head to the Groundbreaker.
Let's see. My engineer's going on a date, and she needs a fine outfit.
You don't gotta be so forward about my reasons, Captain.
Let me get a good look at you. Turn around, please, darling. My word, such muscular shoulders. You're a vision, dear.
I am no such thing, ma'am.
Nonsense, you're absolutely lovely. Chin up now. I have just the thing for you.
And it's super expensive.
Let me do a back-of-the-envelope calculation. Materials...
Licensing and
labor,
copyright.
Licensing and copyright... There.
She's an engineer. You think she can afford that? She needs to impress her true love.
Love? That's the ultimate luxury, darling. Love. Oh, gracious me.
I don't get why that's funny, ma'am.
Oh, my cherub. Who woos for love anymore? That's so... precious.
Who does things for emotion?
The absolute best I can do for you.
Alright, I guess we can swing 3,000 bits.
There are some things I simply cannot skimp on, darling. Such a lovely young lady deserves the best.
Alright,
Now stand back.
Parvati, are you going to actually
I'll end
go
my
on this
sentence
date?
and get these machines spinning. You'll be broke to bespoke in merely an hour. And there we are, my darling girl. I wish you a splendiferous evening. And if you don't mind my asking, have you any interest in modeling?
What? Oh, no, ma'am. All them eyes staring at me? I couldn't. No way, no how. I get scared just thinking on it.
I wish you weren't so shy, my Violet. You truly are beautiful. I hope your date sees that as clearly as I.
Alright.
Can we talk?
We will, but
Wait. What can I do for you, darling?
first I want to see if I can buy something from her. Like, I might carry around some clothing that's just for dialogue skills. But I might have to start running around to collect all of these outfits that I had gotten rid of. Parvati, what have you got to say for where? Oh, there you are.
Oh, can you believe this outfit? It's so handsome, I'm almost afraid to touch it. Well, I guess that's everything then. After all this time, I just have to actually do it now.
Yes.
You know, there's a part Junlei's been looking for. To fix up
Oh my
recyclers?
gosh.
They only carried them on big colony ships, like the Hope.
Parvati, making every little thing perfect won't change Junlei's feelings.
I know. For a while, it felt like everything I did was a little bit of help. And it meant I didn't have to ask her to be mine. Not yet. Not for real. Next time we dock with Groundbreaker, I'm doing it. I'll send June a message and ask her over. Oh, this is real scary, Captain. I'm grateful for all you done.
Who knows when we'll go to the Groundbreaker next?
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs.
Alright, so we've landed at the Groundbreaker, although I suppose let's go see what Ellie and Felix are doing upstairs with their beverages.
So then I says, fine, I'll pay you back for all of it, with interest.
I already heard that line of dialogue.
You must have had him quaking in their heels.
Alright, Parvati, go on your date.
All right. She's on her way. How do I look?
You look like you've done absolutely nothing. You're still in your Rizzo's armor. You look terrific.
Oh, my hands have finally stopped shaking. All right. Deep breath. Here I go.
Alright, let's see how they are doing. Also, let's dress a little bit more casually while we're walking around the ship. Yeah.
Status report.
Also, we probably don't need the top hat.
Routine jobs.
You got a second?
For area maintenance.
Felix. Not at the moment.
Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I ain't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome.
What did he say to that?
Have at it then. And he handed me his favorite wrench, the one he used for the canner. He was probably half as tall as I was.
He didn't scold you for talking back to him?
Nah, he was never like that. I always thought it was funny when I get indignant about something. Then he'd watch me do whatever it was, make sure I didn't get hurt, but he'd never interfere. I learned a lot that way.
I wish I could have met him. Anyone who helped shape you must have been a special person.
Let's see, they've got their fish, their cookies.
My father and I were often at loggerheads. He had notions of how the station should be run, and I had others. He was fond of saying, "You think Groundbreaker pays for itself? Someone's got to cover the bills," when I chafed against his deference to the board.
Sounds like he was afraid of him.
He was, and he was right to be. Didn't mean I had to like it.
Do I even have to be on this ship? You should leave the ship and let them enjoy their date together. Probably. Alright. I'm gonna get off the ship and let them enjoy their date together. Also, actually, while I'm up here, I might as well talk to Felix, because...
I can't believe I wanted to shake his hand. I need a shower. It makes you wonder if being a treacherous, two-timing coward is some sort of contagious disease, or if he was just born that way.
He probably wasn't just born that way, but... is this about Graham Bryant?
At first, I liked what Graham was doing. The Iconoclasts were going to change Halcyon for the better. But then, we found out Graham was behind the slaughter of Amber Heights. How can anybody so morally bankrupt lead a movement to transform the colony?
Graham's a piece of trash.
That's putting it kindly, boss. Graham's worse than trash. He's a traitor. You'd never do something like that, would you? Slaughter a whole community of innocents?
Sure, for the right... I appreciate the fact that the game even provides the option. Never.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's get back to it. I need to put all this ugly business with Graham behind me.
Alright. Let's get off the ship. Let these two ladies enjoy their date. Without our interference. What are we going to even be doing off the ship? Are we just going to just sit on the groundbreaker? I guess we can't take Parvati with us. Let's take Sam. Because Parvati is at a date. I'm sorry, Parvati, you're going to need to interrupt your date so we can leave this ship so that we can avoid interrupting your date. Though I wonder if the quest is just going to kind of like auto-complete itself once I step off the ship. It's just going to be like, oh, their date has finished, and then go back to the ship to see what happens next. Like, it makes sense from a story perspective, from a logical perspective. But from a gameplay perspective, like, it would make just as much sense for you to just be like, wait in your room for them to finish. And their date is over. Okay, let's go back onto the ship. Yeah, if there was an option for just wait in your room to pass time, like, you wouldn't have to load multiple areas just for you to wait for something to happen. But it seems as though the date went pretty well, relatively. I don't know exactly what people would do on dates. Do they talk about their childhoods and their learning of wrenches? Is that romance? All right, Parvati.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these?
Why do we have woolly cows on board? Where did the woolly cows come from?
Okay, Captain, she's gone.
I want all the details.
I feel like running laps around the cargo bay. So she got here, and, well, she sneezed. She said, wow, new soap? And I was like, yeah, rose-ish. Turns out it tickled her nose. Oops. And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like and called the cut of my outfit elegant. I couldn't hear the rest on account of my heart was beating so hard. Then I led her into the kitchen. I think she about cried when she saw the spread.
I figured you'd do this someplace more romantic, like the engine room. So you laid out the meal, brought June in, and started the music.
She stood stock still and just said, oh, real soft. Oh, and let me tell you, I was sweating. And then she blinked and said, is that dustback casserole? I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarch person.
All of them are acceptable. So the meal went well. The dessert too?
Well, we talked a bunch over dinner about the things we learned just through messages, stuff we repaired, how I taught her to salvage and she taught me to build. When I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little teary, said she had a thing she needed to say. But I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I never felt so bold, Captain.
And
I told her about how she made me feel. Bold like I acted. Strong. Smarter and kinder than I am on my lonesome. I listed all the things I liked about her. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. She talked about the things she admired about me, like my cleverness and my humor, and how it made her want to be more open.
of course, nothing is more romantic than lists and speeches. Well, what happened? Wait, she wrote a speech to declare her love?
She was worried she wouldn't get the words out right, especially after that message about Isabel. It's sweet. Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be my girlfriend. And Captain, she said yes!
Excellent.
And then she sneezed again, on account of the flowery soap.
Good enough. That was very sweet. Congratulations.
It's all on your account, you know. Imagine if you'd never taken me out of Edgewater. I'd have never met Junlei at all. I don't know nothing about the Vicar's capital P plan, but you've sure changed my life. So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna head to my cabin and happy scream into my pillow for like an hour.
As long as it's productive happy screaming. And why are there woolly cows? Who let these cows on my ship?